Yeah, no, that's basic. Like Star Wars. So, this is going to be simple because one, this is a simple show. That's not a problem. It's fun. It's cool. It's amazing. I found it once and I'm glad I did. I did some Googling and there is a season 3. Hasn't yet started as far as I'm aware, and apparently it's about like robots and like looking after robots. I don't know if that's true or not. The fact that season 3 been, yeah. I also done a bit of other research, which could or could not be true, because I just do research on just looking up Google websites and just checking stuff, which usually isn't true. It does. It doesn't also help when I'm kind of a dumbass and don't check sources well. That apparently this takes sort of like 200 years before like the main prequels, not the main, those are the prequels. So all these people probably are dead, I think. I know that's sad to think about in like a sort of like show aimed for kids, and I do say that because it is still a fun show. But yeah. The only other thing I have to say, which I think is really interesting, and I think will lead into something really fun later, is in this you had 2 characters that are sort of the connecting points between like one story where you meet a princess and she's sometimes reoccurring, and another one where you meet another character who is at one hand a prince, the other Tabor the thief. I always forgot his other name because, again, I'm not good at this. I'm not good at remembering names and which is interesting and fun. The more fun part of that, out of all of this, in my opinion, is that this person here was friends with his sort of like prince and didn't know that Tabor was the prince. And then when they realise they're together, they have a breaking up, and sort of like he has a conflict of interest, which is interesting and really fun in my opinion. I think because it's a simple show, and I don't think we're going to do I think we're going to do a thing where he might redeem somehow. I don't know. Star Wars does this. There's a lot of villains that later get redeemed. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I definitely thought like who this is aimed for. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. This is not a show that's like it's aimed for kids, and I'm not saying that way when I say there's certain things of like redeeming, but there's certain ideas. Again, not bad. Other shows where some villains are just villains, or some people don't get redeemed, or the villains are a bit messy. Yes. Those are other shows, not this. That's besides the point. I do think that's going to happen. So yeah. Also, I don't think I remember it in season 1, but I also did something which is interesting, is that this group here sort of has a type of theming towards the main Star Wars group. More specifically, young sort of like Jedi who's a bit confident and has a bit sort of like, not ego, but a little bit like, I'm good, I'm amazing. A sort of like female, sort of like more emotional one of the group that has sort of like the princess vibe. Not princess in save me princess, but sort of like elegant vibe. A sort of like Wookiee or companion and a pilot. And if you're referring to what I'm referring to the original Star Wars group. Is that just, am I going and saying that sort of has a similar like dynamic? There probably is a reason, because you can see them, I think, in a couple of other things that has this similar sort of idea. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm just don't know if I'm pulling the straws or just being fully insane, but yeah. So yeah, I recommend you to watch this. It's good. There's nothing else more to say. It's fun. It is definitely worth watching. Here's a fun thing. I forgot to take an image of this. Hence why horizontal rather than vertical, because I just quickly grabbed this. Again, as well as memory, I'm not good at this uploading thing. Anyway, Die Hard with Vengeance. We're gonna have that next. I thought it was the Diamond Eye series. Again, I'm stupid. Like then, I had it cut off because of 5% battery. Again, all I'm saying is I'm stupid sometimes, but yeah.